You are Locked On Astros Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Now that right there is the kind of offensive production late in a baseball game that the entire city of Houston can gather around. Thanks for joining me tonight for our second postcast. We did Texans earlier. We're doing not doing Rockets. I'm all mixed up. We're doing the Astros now. I'm your host, Michael Connor. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by, spending some time on your Friday night with us following the Astros 8-4 win where the Bats go bananas. They score 8 runs on 16 hits, scored 4 of them in the 7th, 3 of them in the 9th. You love to see it. They've needed a game like this in the worst way. And it looked for a long period of time like this was going to be a game that was not going to go this way. But guess what? They found their way to where they needed to be. This episode of the Locked On Astros Postcast is brought to you by Prize Picks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use code, all lowercase, LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. So the Stros, with a what turns out to be easy win, Ryan Presley inning there in the 9th, aside. And I don't even want to crush him for it because, it was pouring rain there for a minute and he was all over the place. It is what it is. He'll get a pass. They won the baseball game tonight. The entire bullpen did its job. We'll talk about the pitching in a little bit because I do want to talk about Ronel Blanco and a question that I have for Ronel Blanco. But let's talk about the positives. Let's start with Jose Altuve because as you can see there in my little graphics that we write up for these shows. I did this one when he tied the game. I could have changed it to something else, but the legend of Jose Altuve. It's been a weird year for Altuve. Very weird year because his overall numbers are really good still. His OPS is probably not where you'd like it for what his other numbers say he is, and that's mainly because he doesn't get on base at the clip that he typically gets on base at. His on-base percentage this year is down, but it's been a good year. That's been a little bit up and down. The home runs have basically been almost non-existent for him in recent weeks. And to see him get a swing tonight on a pitch and to absolutely crush it like he did to give the Astros the lead, or not to give the Astros the lead, to tie the baseball game up, I just thought it was a big-time swing. That was, of course, he homered against the Pirates. Correct. No, he didn't homer against the Pirates. He's homered. I'm really good at reading the game logs here. He has not. That's his first home run since the 12th of July against the Rangers. Today's August the 9th. He almost went a month without hitting a home run. He hit 1 home run in the month of July. That was it. Before that, so he homered on July 12th against the Rangers. His previous home run was on June 28th against the Mets. And he's just seized up in terms of power. It's been weird. Very, very weird. But he still hit 15 home runs this year. He hit 6 of them in the first month of the season. But he's still hit 15 home runs this season. Yeah, the thing that I've always talked about when we've done these shows with him specifically, and really you go look at the entire team. I mean, their chase percentage is like sky high. I saw it earlier today somewhere on the internet. Somebody might have tweeted it. And I'm sorry to whoever tweeted it that I can't give you credit because I honestly don't remember who it was. I've been all over the place today, driving all over town, doing stuff. But their chase rate as a team this season, there's only 2 teams I think that were worse, and it's the White Sox and the Colorado Rockies. And this is a team that typically has one of the best percentages in terms of not chasing at anything. And he's at the top of it, Altuve. His chase rate this year, I'm trying to find the exact number, but it's it's not what it typically is. I felt like he needed that moment tonight, that big swing of the bat, because he's just not had a ton of those. I know that his runners in scoring position numbers are actually pretty good, which is crazy. Look at it. I'm trying to find his chase rate. His chase percentage is actually down a little bit. No, I'm sorry. That's his career. No, his chase percentage is up. Too bad his chase percentage this season is up to 37.5%. It was 32.1 last year, 28.6 in 2022 when they won the World Series. So he is not doing a very good job. And his whiff percentage is way up. 22 whiff percentage this year compared to 18.7 last year. So that when I talked about those things in the past, that's what I'm talking about with him. But again, positive. They won the baseball game tonight. They needed to win, right? They had to win. They have to go out there and win series. And they took the first step to winning a series tonight. They picked up win number 60 of the season. That's a good thing. 60 and 55 now on the year. I haven't even pulled up my scoreboard yet in the American League. And I'm not even going to bother. Today's what? The 9th of August. Oh, look at that. MLB.com actually worked for me today when I'm doing that. The Mariners and the Mets are scoreless after one inning in that one. I will actually pull that up like I typically do when we do this show on my MLB TV. Put it on one of my 4 screens that I have here in front of me. And let you know if anything important happens. But it's still very early there. The Astros looking to build on the little bit of a deficit, or a little bit of a lead, I should say, in the American League West right now with another win tonight, pulling that off. But between him, Altuve, between Yainer Diaz getting a big swing of the bat, Jordan had some moments early in the game where he could have, done a little something to have a swing there for him late. Bregman had a good night. It's not always on the top of the lineup to do everything. Like, you will have to have nights where the other guys do something. And I think that the most important thing that has happened in the last couple of games now, outside of the top guys, it's the rest of them. Singleton, 2 hits tonight, drove in a run. Big run in to drive it in to give the Astros their first lead. Their first lead since the first. Pena, 3-hit night. His bat's gotten going a little bit. Jake Myers, 2-hit night, including a huge triple. Those are the things that matter. When you can get something out of the bottom of the lineup to set up those guys at the top, it's where you become so lethal. And they just hit a period there where they couldn't do any of that. They weren't getting anybody set up anywhere. And then when they did have things set up, they still just couldn't do it. Runners in scoring position tonight. I know you guys love this number. 6 for 14. This is a good night for the Astros at the plate. They did leave 10 men on base, but they pounded out 16 hits. They scored 8 runs, and 7 of them late after the seventh inning and on. You love to see that as well, getting clutch and clutch times in the baseball game and taking care of business in game 1 of this series, and a chance to go knock out another one tomorrow, game 2 of it. Spencer Arrighetti. We'll talk about that in a little bit, what we expect out of him, the importance of trying to secure that game tomorrow as well. Let's talk about Ronel Blanco. Not a good night. Is there a trend that you're starting to pick up with Ronel Blanco? We'll talk about that here in a brief second on the Locked On Astros Postcast. But first up, I need to tell you, I've told you guys about this before, and I'm serious when I tell you it. I wouldn't lie to you. I mean that. I love Liquid IV. I am a person that absolutely loves hydration. It's a big key in my life. It's a key for all of us in life. I always have my massive, massive bottle here, and guess what's in it right now as I'm talking to you? It is peach-flavored, sugar-free Liquid IV. Because I had a couple workouts today, exerted a lot. Got to put the energy back in, got to put the nutrients back in, got to put the electrolytes back in. Yesterday I was out mowing the yard in the crazy heat. Guess what I had? I had 2 lemon lime Liquid IV, sugar-free, as I was sitting there doing the yard yesterday. It's not just about, getting it back in just to get in. It tastes great as well. You're going to love it every single time. Tear, pour, live more. 1 stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. No more thirsty summers. When you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV, get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code LOCKEDONMLB at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. One more message before we get back to our Astros discussion following the awesome win over the Red Sox tonight. Passion, drive, and patience, the formula for winning championships, is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything that you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, and exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts, for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for every single time. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash, with all the parts you need at the prices you want. It's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit. Only available to U.S. customers. Locked On. Excuse me. I'm going to choke on my Liquid IV because I tried to chug it down too quick. Locked On Astros Postcast tonight. Thanks for joining me. Michael Connor, your host. Find me on the X machine where my hand is pointing if you're watching this video, at Connor Michael. You can also find me on all the social media platforms. I don't know what my Instagram one is at this point, so just go search my name. You'll find it. But thanks for joining us. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you missed it earlier, we did a Locked On Texans postcast before we got to this one. Go check that out after this show. We talked a little football tonight. We talked both. I had both games up in front of me tonight. It's a very interesting thing. It's a good night for Houston. 2 wins, baby. I know it's preseason and 1, but it counts for something. Your preseason record. They won 2012. Astros cap it off with a win, and things are good. I do want to talk about one thing with the Astros that has me a little bit concerned. Ronel Blanco. To me, he passes his career high for innings pitched tonight. 128 innings is a career high for Ronel Blanco. His overall season numbers still look great. 9-6 and 22 starts, 3.02 ERA, 126 strikeouts in 128 innings, WHIP 1.05. But, I think the workload is starting to catch up for a guy that's never done this in his career. He's 30 years old, correct? He's 30. Go look at his last 3 starts now. He came out of the break with a solid one, got you 6 innings. But since they've come out of the break, 5 2/3 against Seattle, 4 runs. 4 1/3 against the Dodgers, 4 runs. 5 innings against the Rays, 2 runs. You'll live with that. Tonight, 4 innings, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. But walked 3, gave up 4 hits in those 4 innings. A lot of traffic. I think he's tired. I think just watching him, you see it a little bit. He was a horse, an absolute horse through the first couple of months of this season. Let's just real quick go through it. Let's just listen to the game logs of innings pitched. 9, 6, 6, 6, 5 2/3, 6, 5 2/3, 3. That's when he got kicked out of the game. 7, 4 2/3, 5 2/3, 6, 7, 7, 5 2/3, 5 2/3, 7, 6, and then we just went to the stretch we were talking about. I don't think it's like something that I'm like overly concerned about because look, he's still managing when he's in there to keep the games winnable, correct? So that's something that he did tonight. He might not have been good in this baseball game, but he still found a way that, to keep the team in the game. I want to know, are you guys worried about him at all? You can send that in the comments there. If you're worried about Rodell Blanco and what's going on with him. The good news is it looks like reinforcements to come in the rotation here soon with Justin Verlander. Actually, tomorrow, out my way, not too far from where I live. I'm not going to tell you exactly where I live because it's the internet and people are weird. He's going to play for the Sugarland Space Cowboys tomorrow. Get his first rehab of 2 rehab starts for the Space. Well, I would assume the second one's against the Space Cowboys. I don't know what their schedule looks like. I hadn't even pulled it up. I don't know who they're playing tomorrow night. Nothing. I'm pulling it up at this very moment. They're playing El Paso. So, and they're going to play in Tacoma next week. So Verlander's second start's not coming with them. I'd imagine it's coming with the Hooks. So congrats to the Corpus Christi Hooks. I'm probably landing a start from Justin Verlander. But you get Verlander back into this rotation soon. You know, they're in this stretch where we've talked about that. They're going to start playing a bunch of baseball games moving forward after next Thursday. They get one more day off next Thursday. Then they're going to go from the 16th of August through the 2nd of September without a day off. And then they'll only have a total of 3 off days in the month of September. They're going to have another stretch in September where they go the 10th of September through the 25th without a day off. They really got raked over the coals on this schedule late in the season without days off. And that matters when it comes to the pitching here late in the year. You know, these guys do need rest as much as possible. I think the 6-man, if they can get to that 6-man rotation, I'm not going to count on Luis Garcia ever joining this team this season. And even if he does, I can't imagine that he's joining them in a starter's role at this point of the season. I mean, it's August the 9th. If he is able to go out on a rehab and do an actual rehab and doesn't have any setbacks at this point, he's not talking about coming back until September. And he's not going to be built up to where he's a 6-inning, 7-inning guy. He can be like a 3-4 inning guy. So just put him in the bullpen, whatever. If that's even a possibility, which again, I'm not going to sit here and count on. I don't think that there's any reason to sit there and count on the possibility of adding that to your rotation or to your pitching staff anytime soon. We'll see though. Tomorrow, importance of it. Of course it's important. The Astros want to get series wins, right? You can only do that by taking more games than you lose in the series. And tomorrow, if the Astros win that game, they will win more games than they lose in this series, guaranteed. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about Spencer Arrighetti as well, what we're looking at for out of him when we get back to you in just a brief second on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Prize Picks time. It's America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Seriously, if you haven't done it yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. Get in on Prize Picks. It makes these games very fun. Every single night. Maybe you could be feeling the Astros offense right now. Just saying. Get in on that action with Prize Picks and get on the excitement and win up to 100 times your cash with the summer games on Prize Picks. With Prize Picks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 while watching Team USA rack up the gold medals this summer. You can make a Prize Picks lineup across basketball, soccer, tennis, golf, and more in as little as 60 seconds. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stats, projections, and you are locked in. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. Hey, you know what? It's that easy. Locked On Astros Postcast continues tonight after an 8-4 win over the Boston Red Sox. It's always nice to beat them too, right? I know that I never felt for the Astros, which, by the way, hi again. I'm your host, Michael Connor. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, please don't laugh at me for itching my nose. I got a haircut today, if you can't tell. I don't have a lot of hair back here anymore, but, I got hair up here a little bit still. Not a lot, but trim my mustache, and I have hair in my mustache that grows up into my nose constantly and just scratches me as I talk. And I need to go in there and trim it down again a little bit more. So if you see me constantly doing that, it's because of stupid mustache. Where was I going? I got distracted. It happens sometimes. Thank you for joining us. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, please. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps this channel grow, and I have a good time hanging out with you guys. Real quick note, not a good one to give you. The Mariners, have taken a 2-0 lead over the Mariners in the bottom of the second. They just hit a 2-run home run to take the lead. So, it happens. Long game. We'll see if the Mets are pitching Jose Quintana tonight. We all know how that can go. The Astros have lit that guy up plenty of times in the past. So, hopefully the Mets bats, like Pete Alonso goes off for like 3 home runs the rest of the game or something, or Lindor hits a couple, whatever it is. They just go nuts and do their thing and get a nice victory to help the Astros out tonight in this American League West chase. Tomorrow, the Spaghetti Man himself, Spencer Arrighetti, will get the ball for the Astros. 3:10 first pitch tomorrow, so it'll be in that 6 o'clock range. Personally, I need it to happen about 6 o'clock so I can be out of here by about 6:30 so I can get to my dad's birthday dinner tomorrow night. Which I'm going to get to it either way, but I need it to. If you guys like me, root for it to be a fast one tomorrow. Please. Thank you. I appreciate your commitment to subscribing to this channel and selfishly rooting for me and my needs. If you guys got any needs that you need me to root for, just shove them into the comments and I'll root for you and your needs as well. So come on with them and we'll hook you up. That's what we'll do here on the Locked On Astros. We're a community. It's what we do. Yeah. It's going to be great every single time hanging out with you guys, talking about this team. But they need Arrighetti tomorrow for us to have a good day talking Astros. To go out there and spin it a little bit like he kind of has recently. I'm not going to I don't want to jinx him or anything. I don't want to get too confident in him just yet. He's looked better, right? He's got the ERA. He's got the ERA down to 5.33. It's really on the move. He's still got some work to do there. But, you just run back through the recent games and 6 innings, 1 run against the Rays, 12 strikeouts. Was really good against the Dodgers as well. 6 innings, 3 runs, 8 strikeouts in that one. I really look at him. It's his last 4 starts. He did give up 4 against Oakland, and he still went 6. But his last 4 starts, he's gone 6 innings exactly in all 4 of them. If he can continue to match just that alone, that is a massive benefit to this baseball team. Massive benefit. Because they need the length. Again, I just talked about the schedule. The schedule is going to have, a lot going on here over the next few weeks in terms of playing without days off so they could use, length as much as possible. And tonight, they didn't get any length. Why am I saying Paxton? Because I'm looking at Sunday's game. Paxton's going Sunday for the Red Sox. Red Sox are still TBD for tomorrow. Astros are TBD for Sunday. But, if they can get that to continue at all, with Blanco not giving them anything tonight other than 4 innings, that's going to be massive. Those are the kind of things they need as part of the maturation process as a pitcher. You start trusting these guys when they get to these points where you pencil them in and you go, okay, well, he's probably going to give me at least 6 tonight. And if he's giving you 6, that means the game is going to be within striking distance. Even the game against Oakland, I mean, he gave up 4 runs, sure. Major League Baseball teams can overcome 4 runs all the time. It's very possible. We've seen it many times with the Astros. But again, 3:10, the first pitch for that one tomorrow. You can join us right here on this same channel, of course. We'll be live with you the second that the game ends. I really do appreciate you guys stopping by, of course, tonight for both shows. If you did not watch Locked On Texans Postcast, they beat the Steelers tonight in their preseason opener. Check that out. Also, check out the Locked On Astros podcast. Eric and Brett as well. Don't forget about those guys. Check them out. Check this page out. Check all the Locked On Houston guys out. We're here for you, covering your teams on YouTube and anywhere that you get your podcast. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. I'm going to go enjoy my wine now. We'll talk tomorrow afternoon right here on the Locked On Astros Postcast.